Hi, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I took a junk journal that had been sitting on my shelf for a while and I just added one little thing to the cover. I was going through my postcard collection and I found this just spectacular postcard from 1922, and it is a very famous artist who did this image here of the lily of the valleys. And this, again, 1922, and this was sent to Williamsbridge, New York, from Vivian. And so I made it so you could remove it. These are actually vintage photo corners, not new ones. I just put a little bit of gauze here, and the original title is In the Shadow of the Hills. And I think now it just really pops it, doesn't it? And then, of course, the vintage beads down the side and some ribbons to match those flowers. I'm gonna take you on another journey inside here because I've added a few little wonderful things. So here we go, the original first pages of the book from 1919. And here's the original first plate. Isn't that great? So we've got lots of room to journal here. More secret spaces up here. This came from 1942 magazine. And this is from a 1920s children's book. And I put another page from this book in there so you could journal on that as well. And then a really fun little plate here from the early 1900s, little book spine here. 1903, I think, Perennials book page. And then this here is from the 1800s, and it is, okay, oh, it's actually in half. Sorry, this one is cut in half. I just really liked this little poem here, and you could journal on the other side. Because it's so brittle, I doubled it up. That's why I can't open it. Okay, and little window box journaling spot there. At least that's what I call it. I don't know what others call it. This is an antique book page from a songbook. And a vintage 1950s recipe book page, which is kind of cheesy, but awesome. Another great plate from 1898 from the Sunday Reading for the Young. I loved that book so much. And then I hand stamped some vintage school book paper there. Look at that. Isn't that hilarious? I love it. Here's a great postcard here. Isn't that stunning? Black and white. It was never written on. So you can use that any way you like or just keep it because it's beautiful. And here's a handwritten with an old inkwell and quill research paper about an 1887 news piece. And then over here is a beautiful vintage hanky. Look at that, hand embroidered. Isn't that pretty? I love it. And this is a vintage dictionary page that I made the double pocket out of. And then over here, let's see what we have here. Oh, this is from a teen magazine back from the 50s. It was been a music magazine, and really some fun things in there to just read over and either go back in time or see how things were. And then another one of those wonderful perennial pages. This is the last of these, and I'm sad, but it was a booklet, or book, a school book, music school book, and the student in 1910 wrote down the date of the lesson and then did their own notes, handwritten notes on there. So I would love to know how that song plays. And that's the last of those. Really, really special. This was a Dr. Dolittle book that I turned into a tag because the cover was just too damaged to reuse. And this is, again, the famous story, The Fox and the Crow, from Aesop's Fables, and then that's from the 1920s. Here is a vintage ledger page. This is from the early 1900s on how to write a letter, and this is the ladies' letter writer, and it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. Little book spine and crochet piece there, some trim at the top, more letter writing, journaling, crochet from the 50s. This is a vintage flower book, and I just turned it into a little booklet, which I think is fantastic. And the pocket is made from a 1950s Bobbsey twin book. And this, speaking of the 50s, this is a bingo card, original bingo card, also from the 50s. I love bingo cards, vintage ones, not printed out ones, but real ones. And this is a book plate, and it is from a box I got, and it's very, very old, but the pieces inside had never been used, and they are pristine. They almost look commercial, but they are truly old, really special. Look at this great map here. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. That was from a vintage book. This is from a vintage children's book here from the 40s. And then in back here, I put a little secret pocket, and I put a Pearl Shop receipt in there from the 1950s. Oops, wrong way. There we go. I love fun pockets all over the place. This is a great book from Germany. Very, very collectible. You can search for this on Google. And this one has that beautiful porcupine on the front. I think it's fabulous. That's very cool. Another waterfall piece here for journaling. Hummingbird stamp, crochet from the 50s. This is a petite point here. You can see, look at that. You can see on the other side, the teeny tiny. Oh my, I don't know how they did this. Their eyes must have been destroyed doing that. Just gorgeous piece there. And I turned it into a pocket and I put this piece in here from 1895. Demarest's Family Magazine. There's some new industrial manufacturing things. That was a big deal. The age of the machine. Vintage Monopoly money here. A vintage playing card, which is pretty fabulous. Back when they did a different kind of king and queen in this deck, and it's very cool. This is just a really fun cover of a salad recipe book, as if we need recipes to make salad, but apparently we do. There is a great little journaling spot there, hidden inside. And I found this bookmark in an old book from the 70s. Look at this classic font from the 70s, right? So I'm passing that along. This I love. This is from 1925 from an art school book. And look at the colors on this have stayed vibrant for 100 years. That is spectacular. I love it. Look at that. Just amazing. And then a crochet page here from the 50s, another pearl shop receipt from the 50s. This is from 1955 from a Polish embroidery book. That's a beautiful plate. And then oh, this is really cool. This is one of the tea cards, and this one is of a lemming. Is that neat? Yeah, so you would have collected these and this person glued it down onto that page. This piece down here is from 1899. And then we've got some vintage dictionary pages here with beautiful images. This is the original spine from the book that I made into a belly band. There's another botanical piece for journaling. And that brings us to the end page of the book. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making it, and then making it even better. So you can find this in my Etsy shop, hyperstamper.etsy.com. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.